No, I don't think that color is going to match. I need to go with a darker color than this. This is maple. That's walnut, so. What's going on right now is, this is an old walking stick. It's about 100 years old. A co-worker of mine wanted me to restore it for him. So I filled it in with a little bit of epoxy, just at least keep the cracks from getting any worse. Now I'm just making a holster for it. Got this eagle head carved out of walnut, so intentionally I'm supposed to hold it just like that. And again, this is just a walking stick that a guy I work with has been in his family. He actually got it from his great-grandfather, found it a little over 100 years ago, and it's just been in the family since. So, and this is something that I made probably about 7 or 8 years ago. So, figured that'd be a good use for it. Just got to find a better way to hold it in there nice and tight. So what I'm doing right now is making a little latch that's going to lift up and hold it in there. It just needs to obviously be a better color than this, because this color's not matching it good enough. And I've got these pieces over here. This is actually a color called Purple Heart. If you've ever seen Purple Heart before, it gets the name from actually the color. It is purple wood. And then I've got some blood wood down here, which is redwood, a beautiful wood. Bloodwood and Purple Heart are some of my favorite types of wood out there, but for what I'm using, they just wouldn't be ideal right now for it. But just so you can see, let me go ahead and show you that Purple Heart real quick, since we're talking about it. Just look at that, and that's all natural. That's just how Purple Heart looks. Coming off the tree like that, it just looks that beautiful. And then you also, let me grab you guys a piece of bloodwood. This is bloodwood. Just look at that red hue that it has. And then once you cut inside of it, when it hasn't had any UV hit it, and it hasn't adapted to the climate, it's still got more of an orange cut to it. But once it's had UV lights hit it, it gets much more of a darker hue. Now with Purple Heart though, you can actually darken it by leaving it in the sun. It basically just sucks in the UV light. So if I were to leave this out in the sun for maybe an hour or so, this whole side would be a lot darker. But as soon as you start sanding it and you take off those wood fibers that have been hit with the UV light, then it's going to go back to more of a brown hue. So this is natural. This is the way it should look. All right, but let's go back. I need to find a piece that's dark brown that's going to match what I'm doing. These are some walnut shelves I made years back, but I really don't want to cut those up. That's actually a big piece of rosewood slab I got from years back, but it's too big for our house now, so it's just sitting in the corner. We just need to find a dark piece that I think would complement that eagle's head. So let's see what we can find. I've got this one piece of walnut. But I don't have a table saw, so unfortunately I can't cut it widthwise. I can only cut it vertically. So it'd have to be like that, and that just doesn't fit well. Or does it? If I turned it like that, actually that might work. Let's give this a shot. Let's see. You okay, buddy? Hey, psst, psst. You okay, puppy? Oh, that dog. Yeah, I don't like that either, honestly. I was going to make it a lot thinner, but even then, I guess I can carve it up, sand it up, give it more of an oval shape, make it look a little bit more natural, and then I'll see how it looks. But it's got to be big enough to fit that screw head in there. And by that, I mean, say this is the screw holding it. It needs to be over at least this much to have the head in there. So if the thickness of the head is about right there, it needs to be at least that far into this. I think that could come out enough. Let's try that out. You need to take the width down of this piece. It's not an ideal way to cut it, but I'm trying to do it to where you guys can still see what I'm doing. Clearly, I'm not managing very well. try to break out the big boy. Looks a bit unnecessary, but for cutting through the grain with walnut. Yeah, it's a lot better. Now we're left with this little piece. I'm gonna carve it up, but I'm still not liking that really, if I'm being honest. I'm not liking that at all. I'm just thinking that it just doesn't look very natural. So, I'll see. I'm gonna sand this piece down, smooth it out a lot, and see how it looks. That's what we're gonna do right now. Get a decent grit on there, not 60 grit, that's a little too aggressive. Give me some other sandpaper. Here's some 100 grit, that should work good enough. That's okay, but honestly, it needs to come out longer. This is a 100-year-old walking stick I made for, well, I didn't make the stick, obviously, but a guy I work with this has been passed down through his family. He got it originally from his great-grandfather, and they wanted me to fill all the cracks in it, so that's what I did originally. I've got all the cracks filled, I've got everything treated, keeping it as original as possible, just filling in the cracks, keeping it from spreading worse. Then I had this old eagle head laying around that I've had for probably 8 or 9 years. Tried to carve a holster into it, and it wasn't working out very well, just because I'm better with woodworking than wood carving, as you can see by the eagle head. So since it's not going to hold in there perfectly, it fits nice, but it doesn't want to hold well because of the bump right there. So I'm working on making a little latch out of walnut, hopefully to match it. That's going to go right there. I just need my latch to come out a little bit longer, so I think I'm going to cut another piece, and that's where we're going to go. So let's cut up another piece of walnut, and we'll go from there. That's what our piece looks like. Now I'm gonna have to cut it in half. I don't have a bandsaw or table saw, so all this I have to do by hand. I'm just cut it in half with a Japanese saw. Let's see. Which I had just did, and I split it in 2 pieces. But now the other piece has just vanished into the oblivion. Who knows where it is? So I'm cutting another one. Day in my life. What the Japanese saws are so good for this. Oh, would you looky there? All right. So we can either hold it in with the thinner one, which I'm not so crazy about. Or we can break out the little bit wider one, which admittedly I'm not very crazy about either, but once I sand this one down, it'll come out a lot better. If you guys are still watching, I appreciate it. The channel could use the support. If you don't mind, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It'll allow me to keep doing this. Alright, so now I'm going to just go ahead and sand this part down. Keep it on a very slow speed. That way it's much more controllable. And we're just going to smooth this out. Not taking off too much. We really just want to give it a natural look. Not the best way to do that, I knew that. Now we're just going to put a little bit of a higher grit on here. Help flush everything up. Make everything nice and soft to the touch. Put some 240 on there. This is just going to get everything perfectly smooth. Look at that wood grain. I think that's good. There we go. Now it's coming together. Honestly, I'm still not crazy about that. Let me just see how it looks. Let me match it up. Let me go ahead and drill this part through. Just gonna ever so slightly drill this one through. We definitely need to chamfer that hole in a little bit more so the screw head sits flat. There we go. It's going to sit about right there. I marked the hole where it's going to go in at, so it's going to be right here. All right. Put the piece on. Let's move it up here. Bear with me for just a minute. I appreciate you guys sticking through the channel or the video and supporting the channel. If you could go ahead and leave subscribe, it'd help me keep doing this. All right. Cool. Now we got the eagle's head right where it needs to be. It's looking good, I think. This looking right on the money. Let me zoom down a little bit more. Yeah, honestly, I'm not crazy about this. I think I'm going to make this part wider so I can recess that screw. Yeah, see, that just breaks too easily. So I'm going to make another one. I'm going to make it wider. That way this screw can actually sit recessed in there. I think that's going to be the best way to do this. So, gotta do that step all over again. I don't know, what do you guys think? This is going to be obviously cleaned up. It's going to be shaped up to where it's more rounded over like that. But I need something to hold this stick in place. I'm just not liking the way that looks. But without it, nothing's going to hold this in. Let's see. We'll still cut this part in half. It's going to be a lot harder with the Japanese saw, but gotta do it. We're going to try this one more time. Oh, yeah, it's definitely harder when the wood's this thick. All right. So now I'm gonna go ahead and recess it now. Well, no, I'm gonna wait till I sand it up. But now that we've got that, that's gonna sit on this eagle's head. Or actually go dark side to dark side. Well, I don't know. Yeah, we'll keep it dark. Like that. I'm just sand this part out, smooth it, make it look a lot better. And then hopefully that's gonna work. I think it'll look good. I'm going to go ahead and log off for now. I appreciate all you guys' support watching the video. If you did enjoy it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'd really appreciate it. It helps me, or it's going to allow me to keep doing this. Hope you guys stay safe out there. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks again, you guys. Be safe.